So I'm in the workshop today and I've got some upgrades to do. And yeah, so the 65, when I had the car running to begin with, I had a Kraken SX5 Sidewinder cage. And I really liked that cage. It was awesome. Um, the problem with it that I had when I put the 65 in is there wasn't enough support, sort of like towards the rear of the cage, not like a Team Chase cage that has those bars. So the cage gets mounted up sort of at the radio tray and then a little bit further back by the clutch. So the SX5 cage has a front mount, a radio tray mount, and then a rear bumper mount. So when I stacked my car, it started damaging the pipe. And it's got to the point where, yes, the pipe works and it's functional, but it's not very pretty. So I've got a new pipe to stick in there, and yeah, hang around with me and let's do some wrenching and enjoy. So there it is. It's the new Taylor Big Bore torque side pipe, and it comes with quite a bit of paraphernalia. So this obviously bolts onto the head. This little flange over here, the flange goes, it's actually got a bit of a conical end there. So that there is a friction fit straight onto the head, and then that goes over, and there are 4 springs. So each one of those holes gets a spring, and then there's 2 springs for the top, 2 springs for the bottom. And to get a seal on there, it came with 2 O-rings, and now I've stuck them in already. So inside the pipe over here, you can see there's some grooves, and the grooves are just the right size for the O-rings. So the O-rings are what's going to give a good seal there. And then obviously that goes onto the main part of the exhaust, and it's a 3-stage step header, which is quite nice. So this is the pipe that I've got on there, and it's what I ordered with the motor. And while it has been great, you can see it has been totally freaking hammered over here, right? The Kraken cage doesn't offer a whole lot of protection over here. So the cage itself bolts on over there, and then bolts on over there. And this middle section of the cage has no support, so it flexes a bit, and that's what caused that. Even after, because this was only an afterthought, the bonehead plug protector was an afterthought. Even with the plug protector, it was still getting damaged. And while, like I said, while it's still functional, it's not very pretty. The other thing I'm going to have to do as well is the header on the new pipe. The stock Taylor RC shock brace the header will hit that. So I've got the drop down brace to go in so that the pipe can all fit up there. Right, so I've got the old one off, and we just grab it and we just have a rough look. It's almost the same length, maybe an inch or 2 shorter. Here it is, kind of just on there, and I think that's going to be pretty sick. And it's just going to mean there'll be a little bit easier access to the radio tray. And yeah, let's get on. Let's get it on. I've got the rear shock tower off. I took the original rubber mounts off the exhaust mounts. So that's the new one. It's quite a lot bigger. I mean, if we compare it, it's double the size. So I've got the new rubber mount in. It's pretty stiff, eh? Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty stiff. So I've got that all in. So I've assembled the piece. So it's the flange, the bracket, the 4 springs, 2 O-rings. So I've assembled that all together. So then I can then fit that on and then put the button heads in. So I think after a little bit of muffing about, I think that's going to be the win. It's going to be that setup. Everything mounted up. There's a little bit of movement, but I think a bit of movement is good. And, you know, if you're bolting up a pipe like that and you're doing lawn darts, if it's totally rigid, it's going to break. So a little bit of flex is pretty good. I just wanted to, the next thing I'm going to do is just put on that rear shock brace. And if we just have a look here, this is the original one, and you can see, not by much, but there is a little bit of interference there. So fortunately, like I said before, I have got this one in, and when you bolt this guy up, there's plenty space. So let me bolt this all up, and then we'll see if the Akiro cage, which I'm sure it will do, it's pretty much the same as a Team Chase cage. We'll see if the Akiro cage bolts up here. And yeah, freaking beautiful. I've got the pipe fitted. I've got my Akiro cage on there, and there's absolutely no issue with it fitting. There's my drop down brace, and yeah, so that's it for this short little vid, me just upgrading my pipe. But I still have plenty work to do. Next on the operating table is my twin, and I need to do a bunch of stuff. It's got a diff rebuild and front bulkhead replacement. So I've got all these parts over here that have come in thanks to Mike. I've got a new diff for it. I've got BRP adapters and a full set of BRP 190s are going to go on there. Those are the front ones. I've got a set of new Kraken Baja gears. I've got the titanium cross pins that go inside there. I've got the out drives, the diff cups, a brand new HPI, which I was quite lucky to find, a brand new HPI front bulkhead that's going to go on the twin, new set of dog bones and pins. So that wraps up my short little vid, and I'll be out in the field with it really soon, and we'll give it a test. If I remember correctly, with I think it was a 2648, I was getting, I think it was 77 k's an hour. So I'd like to see, you know, if this torque pipe does anything more. And then we'll get on to wrenching on my twin really soon. I'm just waiting for some extra parts to come in that are getting shipped out to me as we speak. And then we can get that all sorted and get that out into the field. And yeah, happy days. Thanks all for joining me, and catch you guys really soon on the other side.